All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99 back with another WMMA chat video. All right, y'all, for this chat video, I want to talk about the newly signed winners from Dana White's Contender Series as far as the WMMA fighters go and what's next for them. So far, we had about 3 WMMA fights out of the 5 weeks. We had a couple of strawweight fights for week 2 and week 3. And for week 5, we had a flyweight fight this past Tuesday. Yeah, this past Tuesday was flyweight action. So, yeah, in my opinion, I thought all 3 of the fights were good. Of course, Dana White, he wasn't feeling the decision win. So word to the wise, if you're an upcoming prospect and you get on Dana White's Contender Series, you better get that finish. If you hurt your opponent, you better get him out of there. Because if Dana White sees you let that opportunity go, he ain't giving you no contract. All right? He is not giving you a contract. But luckily, all 3 lucked out here. And especially I'm talking about Josephine Knutsson here, which I'll bring up here in a minute. They all got their contracts. So I just want to go through and I'll give you all the updates on what's next for these fighters. So let's start with the first winner from week 2, Eduardo Moura. Eduardo Moura, she's now 9-0. She's making her UFC debut November 4th against another fighter making their UFC debut, So Kim, who's 8-1. Just in case y'all didn't see the fight, Moura, she won her UFC contract via first-round rear naked choke over Jaina Silva, who is also undefeated. Moura, she went in there, stormed in, took her opponent down, got the back, got the choke, got the contract. Moura, she's an aggressive fighter. You know, she's looking for the finish. She's got 8 finishes out of her 9 wins. 7 were in the first round. So she's the type of fighter that looks to put on that action. And Dana White, he likes that. You know, he likes those type of fighters. And I mean, that's going to be a good addition to 115. If she can bring the tools and she can evolve along the way, and you know, she can work on her defense and you know, just put it all together and become a well-rounded fighter, but still have that killer instinct, I think she'll be a good addition to 115. But right now, from what we see, she likes to put on that pressure. She looks for the takedown, and she looks for the finish. Now, Kim, on the other hand, she's an aggressive kickboxer. I was looking at a few of her fights. She's an aggressive kickboxer, but she has that ability to submit as well. Her last 4 wins were by submission, so she can throw hands, and she has a ground game. And she's fought for 1FC. She's fought for Max FC. And she's always putting on an action-packed fight. So this is a good matchup for both of these debuters. I'm looking forward to this fight, though. I don't think it's going the distance. Whichever way it goes, I don't think it's going the distance. Because, like I said, Kim, you know, she could throw hands. And then you got Moura, who likes to get to the ground. Somebody's going to be looking for the knockout, or they both could be looking for a submission. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this debut for both fighters. All right, next up, looks like Josephine Knutsson got her contract, y'all. Looks like she got her contract after all. But she's not getting the easy one. She's definitely not getting the easy one because she's making her debut in a couple weeks against none other than Yasmin Luncindo. That's right. September 16th, Josephine Knutsson has the task of taking on Yasmin Luncindo. And they put her in this fight because Elise Reed, she got bumped up to replace Sam Hughes versus Lupe Godinez. So, yeah, in a couple weeks, Josephine Knutsson, yeah, she's getting her biggest test now. Josephine Knutsson, she won her fight against Isis Verbeek, but originally she didn't get the contract. But now that somebody had to pull out because of an injury, you know, they're putting her in it. They're putting her in here now. So, yeah, she's got a rough fight ahead of her, man. I think I would have preferred to see her fight Elise Reed and maybe Yasmin Lucindo take on Lupe Godinez because I think Yasmin Lucindo, she's a little bit more advanced now. She could fight somebody like Lupe, actually, because this is going to be a rough fight for Josephine Knutsson. I don't know why it works out for fighters like this, like Teresa Bleda. If y'all remember last year, she won a decision, and Dana White didn't sign her. But then he did sign her when he needed somebody to take on Natalia Silva, and that was a bad matchup for Teresa Bleda as a first fight. Like, when you see a fighter come in like Teresa Bleda, you want to see them get, you know, somebody on their level, much like Eduardo Moura is getting. Eduardo Moura, she's getting somebody on her level, and So Kim, they're both making their debut, but they're going to throw Josephine Knutsson in there against the killer right away, you know? So hopefully it doesn't work out the same way as it did, like it did for Teresa Bleda, you know? So, yeah, but just in case y'all don't know Yasmin Lucindo, I mean, she's definitely one of the more dangerous up-and-comers. I mean, she's young, tough, she's developing all around. She's 2-1 right now in the UFC, and in my opinion, yeah, all 3 of her fights have been action-packed, competitive. They could have all gone to her. You know, the Yasmin Jauregui fight, a lot of people feel like Yasmin Lucindo did enough to win. But since that fight, she's been getting better, you know, just developing her counter striking abilities and just overall MMA striking and her ground game. And you can look at her record. She's 15-5, and she's only like, 21 years old. So this girl she's ready. Knutsson, on the other hand, she's 6-0, really strong striker, you know, good takedown defense, good Muay Thai, very aggressive. So when you put these two together, it's going to be a good fight. But man, Yasmin Luncindo, she's just got something about her, man, that just says, you know, she's not going to back down, you know. So this is going to be a rough fight. Josephine Knutsson's just coming off the Contender Series fight, and she's got to go right back in a couple weeks. Hopefully she can make it a good fight. Right now, I can't really say who's going to win, but, you know, Luncindo definitely has a good chance, y'all. All right? And last but not least, from this past Tuesday, flyweight action, we had Dione Barbosa. She armbarred Ryan, I think it's Ryan or Rain Guerrero. Man, this girl right here, I like what she's bringing to the table. I looked at some of her fights. Dione Barbosa, she's a black belt in judo and a black belt in BJJ. She's got good takedowns. She can get that head toss, but when she gets the head toss, she knows how to transition beautifully to get to your back. She can transition from armbar, side control, just like that. I mean, the way she was handling Guerrero, she was just all over on the ground. You know, I would have liked to see what she could do with her hands a little bit, because she did land a good body kick in this fight, you know, as far as her striking. But when it went to the ground, you know, she was in full control. So definitely says she earned her contract. She got an arm bar, you know, set it up nice, belly down, got that full extension, earned that contract. So, yeah, shout out to Dione Barbosa. But I was just looking at her resume, too, man. I know what they're setting up here, because this girl right here, she holds a win over Karine Silva. So, you know, at some point, I can see them setting up a rematch here. They could probably set up a rematch at some point with Karine Silva and Dione Barbosa. Granted, if Dione Barbosa can put together some wins and get into that top 15, I think they might set them up at some point, you know, maybe when they get to top 10 or top 5. But let me pull up the resume here real quick, because I want to see how Dione Barbosa defeated Karine Silva here real quick. Now, they call her Dione the Witch Barbosa versus Karine the Killer Silva. Let's see. Ooh. She defeated Karine Silva by unanimous decision back in 2019. So it's been about almost 4 years. Been about 4 years ago now. So that fight could go different. Since then, Dione Barbosa, she lost to Josiane Nunes and Jenna Bishop. As y'all know, Jenna Bishop is a fighter I'm kind of high on. So if Jenna Bishop can beat her, you know Jenna Bishop is on another level. Too bad she signed a Bellator right now. But since then, Dione Barbosa, she put together a 3-fight win streak and got her contract with the UFC. So, yeah, this is a good addition, man. This girl, she likes to come in and fight. Like I said, she's got the black belt in jiu-jitsu, judo. She's physically strong, and she just has that personality about her, too, you know, very, very outgoing, And when she gets in there, she goes for the kill. So, yeah, another good fighter, another good addition to the flyweight division. So, yeah, man, that's all I got on this one, guys. Just wanted to fill y'all in on the updates for these up-and-comers in the strawweight division and the flyweight division. But, man, what do y'all think, man? What do y'all think about these fights? I think that Edwin Moura and Soyu Kim fight, I think that's a pretty even fight, you know, which is what you want to see, you know, two fighters that just got signed. You want to see them on the same, you want to see a fight on the same level, you know. But, Josephine Knutsson, man, she's going to have her hands full. That fight's in a couple weeks, y'all. So expect to see some fireworks in that fight. What do y'all think about Dione Barbosa? Do you think she'll meet up with Karine Silva again at some point? Do you think Silva will get some get back with that one as well? Let me know, guys, in the comment section. Make sure y'all subscribe. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.